What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm very excited to give you guys a video where I am showcasing and trying out a whole bunch of new makeup. Now this is makeup that I've been either hoarding for a while or that I literally just picked up. We got some Hourglass, we got some Too Faced, we got some Give, we got some Half Magic, some McGrath, some Makeup Forever. It really ranges the gamut today, and I'm just excited, and I hope that you guys are excited as well. Of course, I created this eye look and this base look and all of it together. There were some struggles, and I will make sure that you guys get to see those, but if you're interested in seeing how I created this final look, let's get into it. Hey guys, so today's video, I'm excited, as I'm sure I said in the intro. It's going to be all about testing new makeup. So I have a good amount of new makeup. This is multiple different orders. Some things are super old that have just been sitting waiting for me to test out. Some are new, but I'm really excited. So let's just go ahead and dive in, shall we? For anything that I don't actually have a new product, I am just going to use an old product, mainly Project Pan. So we're just going to go in with my Project Pan face primer, which is my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I do tend to like to use kind of some known elements when I am doing testing out new makeup, and so this will be a good thing overall. Alrighty, so that is kind of coming into my skin, and while that does kind of settle in, let's talk about this foundation. So I picked this up when it was on like half off or something like that, and this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation in 4N68. I've always wanted a Makeup Forever foundation, never got around to getting one, and I was hearing a lot of really good things about this particular foundation. So I figured, let me go ahead and try it. Like I said, I've never tried it, and I've never tried a formula from this brand. So this is brand new to me. Interesting bottle. It looks like it could be a good match from in the packaging to my face. So that's surprising. And like I said, this is 4N68. I may have used an old foundation match when I went to kind of do the shade matcher for this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I just go by pictures. Who knows? I'm going to be very hopeful that this works because I genuinely detest returning makeup. I did already go ahead and wet my sponge. This is just the Sonia Kashuk sponge, in case you were wondering. And let's see. Okay, I tend to like 3 pumps, so I just put 3 pumps on the butt of my sponge, and let's see how this applies. I'm gonna start with just kind of half of my face, just so that you guys can see both sides. This doesn't look promising. This does not look promising at all. Oh goodness. I think there's a fragrance with this foundation. Okay. It like settled down once I put it on. Do you guys see that? Because I felt like it looked really far off from my skin tone. Now it's definitely settled down in person and on camera. It doesn't look bad at all. Wow. And I feel like whatever excess product kind of really settled into between the sponge and then just me applying it all the way down to my neck. Okay, let me go ahead and do the same on the other side. I won't use as much product because I shouldn't have used that much before. I just didn't expect it. Okay, let me apply. And hopefully you can see, like on this side, it looks a little bit warmer, right? But it somehow settles down to being this shade. Like I think now it's starting to settle down as it kind of dries. You see? Are you seeing it? I still see a slight difference in person, although it's starting to slowly settle down more onto this side. That is a first. I don't think I've ever seen a foundation kind of do that. and be so impressive. Like I said, this is it. Let me show you guys my neck. I have a higher t-shirt on today, so it's not going to be super helpful, but this is the situation. Okay, I think it looks good. I think it looks good. I was worried, but I think it looks good. It definitely looks like it's kind of settled down, dried down to more of a natural finish. So it's not overly dewy. It's also not overly matte, which is perfect for me. I would say this is definitely more medium coverage, which is perfect for me. I do prefer medium because then you can build on the days you want to with either a separate concealer or with the same product, or you can just kind of have a more natural finish to the base. So overall right now it's nice. Let's see. It's not like powdered down, but it's not tacky. So if you are somebody who has like maybe drier skin and you don't like to set your foundation, or you just don't like to set your foundation and you do have oily skin, I don't think this would be a bad product. So that's nice. That is nice. I still need to test out, especially because I've been testing out quite a few new foundations this year. So I need to kind of see where it is in my like personal foundation rotation, but I like it so far. I do. Okay. The sun is playing me. It is very overcast today, so lighting may change every little while. I do apologize. So next I have the Sephora Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Multi-Use Concealer. I got this in 50 in. I believe this is the same shade as my previous Sephora concealer, and that's why I picked it out. So really excited for that. Let me just get this stupid packaging open. It's nice and thick. It's actually thicker than I expected based on the other Sephora concealer that I really enjoy. It has a nice little doe fit, and it's the type of shade that I like. And I like how much product is actually given off on the doe foot too. So that's all the product that I use when I put on concealer. I don't use much more, and especially because this is full coverage, I probably won't even need to use as much as I am used to. But let's just go ahead and blend this into the base. And I think that did a really good job. There was slight darkness under my under eyes right now. Life is getting a little stressful. But that concealer really helped to cover it up, and I really like that. I like that a lot. It doesn't look overly dewy down there or even any other parts of my skin. It looks just like normal skin, and that's really where I like to be at when it comes to my products. Now, I do have a couple of different powders, and I know that's not usual for me, but there was a powder that was showcased and I had to try it. So this is the Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. Now, the way I've seen it used is actually as like a setting powder, so that's how I'm going to use it as well. And because I don't have cream bronzer, I'm just going to use normal bronzers. So don't worry about that. I'll just do that off camera. But let's go ahead and apply this. I do like to put that type of stuff on with the sponge, so I am going to just try it with the sponge and see if it works. It picked up quite a bit of product, which is nice. And I'm going to do one side first and see how it goes. I like to, ooh. Oh no. That is definitely darker than my skin tone. Oh, goodness. Okay. Goodness me. That definitely darkened up everything. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell. I'll come in. I still want to try the powder out, so we'll just work with it. Okay, can you see how this side is definitely a weirder tone than this side? It definitely darkened up all of the products over here, like completely. They were a different shade. They were more my skin tone. Now, at least in person, it does not look like it's my skin tone, which is disappointing. it is, but we will make it work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And there is a scent on this powder. I don't know what it is. I would say it's just like a ingredients scent, not like an actual, like, we put in artificial something scent. So do keep that in mind. And just to show you guys now, I don't know if you guys can see the difference at all, but I can definitely see the difference. It now, one, looks like I have makeup on. Two, it darkened up the whole situation. Whereas before, it didn't necessarily look like I had makeup on. It just looked like my skin, but better. Now you can tell. You can tell I have makeup on. And I don't particularly like that. Lately, I've been really working on my base being more perfected in the sense that it looks like just my face, but better. So I don't really know about this. I don't really know. I got the shade 14 Espresso. It looked like the only shade that would actually work for me, but clearly I got the wrong shade. It wasn't that expensive. I want to say it was like maybe $5. So I'm not like butthurt about it, but I am annoyed. Maybe I will try it as an actual powder foundation without anything like this under, and during the summer maybe this will be perfect depth for me. But right now it definitely deepened up, like I've said 1,000,001 times. So actually I don't think I'm gonna do any bronzer. I just don't I don't want to add to this. I don't want to add to that. So what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna spray my face. I want to kind of get these powders, especially that face powder, I want to try and get it to settle in. So I got a new setting spray, and this is from Manna Kadar, and this is their Matte About You. So this is an oil controlling mattifying spray mist. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try this and see how it goes. I just shake it up because that's my normal inclination. It has kind of like a spa florally kind of rose scent to it. So if that bothers you, I would not recommend this. I don't know if there's actual fragrance to this. Yeah, there is. It says perfume. So if you do not like fragranced things on your face, would not recommend that. But what I will say is that that little bit of saturation, I feel like brought a little bit more life back to my skin, and it doesn't look nearly as much powdery as it did before. So I'm not too mad about that. I don't know how mattifying it's going to make me. Maybe it will help control my oils, but not overly mattify me. Who knows? I'm just learning as you are learning as well. So let me hop off camera. I'm gonna do my brows real quickly and then we'll be right back. So I just filled in my brows with my Project Pan brow pencil, but I have a new brow glue that I want to test out, and this is from Too Faced. This is their lamination brow gel. I got this, I believe, during the 21 Days of Beauty for half off, and since it was half off and a lot of people were raving about it, I figured let's go ahead and try it. So I know that there is a brush thing at this part, okay, and that you get the actual product here. So I'm just gonna go with the actual product and see how it goes. I want to say people said that this brings too much glue, so I'm just going to take a little bit off and try it that way. Okay, so let me come in so that you guys can see. I think we're zoomed in as much as I can, and as you can see, it really did bring my brow hairs up. Like, I think that's the most dramatic I have been able to get my actual brow hairs to come up in my brow tutorials or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how long it lasts like this. And I mean, I will say the brush so small and thin that it makes it easier for you to really get into your brow hairs, even compared to my NYX. My NYX is a little bit chubbier. It's a very small brush, but it's chubbier brush, and so it's not as easy as this. So that is very interesting. I'm just gonna let them kind of dry and see how that goes, and we're gonna keep moving forward. So I don't have anything else on my base, so let's finish up my base. And I did get a cream blush from LYS. I have said a couple of times before, I am a beauty ambassador with them, and I've heard nothing but raving things about their cream blushes, so I figured let me try one. This is in the shade Inspire, and if I remember correctly, a lot of people were really raving about this, so I figured let's go ahead and try it. I'm just going to use the clean side of my sponge for today, because I do like to apply cream blushes in compacts like this with a sponge. Ooh, okay. So let's just try to distribute that product, because whoa baby, that was very opaque. I knew people were saying that they're pigmented, but generally people say that and they're not really pigmented on my skin tone, but that is pigmented. I'm just gonna blend it out just a little bit with the butt of my sponge that still has some remaining foundation and concealer on it, and just kind of go back and forth. Can you guys see? I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a nice kind of subtle hint of this product, and I guess I could build it up just a little bit more. I am gonna put a powder blush on, so I don't want to be too built up, but just so that you guys can see the shade on my skin tone. There you go. So that's what it looks like. It's a very pretty shade. Like I said, I got this in the shade Inspire, and I know other people have like the whole range. I have so many cream products, and I need to start like actively getting through mine, but I really wanted to test out this formula. So far it looks really nice, and I am very happy to have picked this up. Oh, and if you want a code or check out down below, I believe I have a link down there for a cheaper method for you guys if you shop through the LYS website. I also picked up one of the Pat McGrath Divine blushes when they were on sale at Sephora, so let's dive into that. This is in the shade, oh, the shade is not on the actual product. It's in the shade Cosmic Coral, and it's one of her duos. I have two of her blushes that aren't duos like this, but I wanted to try a duo, but I didn't want to pay full price because I already know I like her formula, but I also know that Pat McGrath tends to always go on sale via Sephora or her brand. So I picked up this duo, and I'm gonna just mix them both because I don't really particularly like overly pink blushes, but I love the neutral side of this, and I'm just gonna kind of pack it on top. Slowly blending it there. And I think because the base color is so pink already, it's just really pulling pink, which isn't a bad thing. It's gonna add some dimension to my face because I don't have any bronzer on today, but not particularly what I want. Yeah, I think this is a pretty blush. Do I think you have to pay full price? No, I think you should definitely wait to get this on sale like I did, and I'm happy I picked this one up. There is one other that I want to pick up, and when it becomes available and I have the money, I will pick it up. So really happy about that. Now, I do have another fun face product that I'm very excited that I picked up, and this is actually from Hourglass. Now, this is not their holiday palette this year. I believe this was technically a new edition last year, and this is their lighting palette volume 3. So this is supposed to be for darker skin tones. The sun is really washing this out, so don't be so alarmed. But this side is, I think, like the more metallic highlighter, and then I think these two are like face setting powders or something. I don't really know. Let's see. This is the prismatic strobe light. This is the transcendent light, and then the ethereal light. So I think these are both like face powders, and then this is the highlighters. So what I'm gonna do is try and find a clean brush, which in my collection is a hard task because it's quite big, but we'll work with it. And I am gonna go with trying to kind of blend all of this stuff in. So I'm gonna try to focus this on this middle shade, and just use that just to add a veil of something. I don't know if this necessarily did a lot, but it definitely didn't hurt. Although I just feel very, very cakey. As soon as I put this on, I just felt so cakey, so much makeup on, and that's just not my normal aesthetic. I usually have a very thin amount of product on my face, but I'm gonna try the last powder today that I'm gonna try out of this palette. I think later I'm gonna try this as an under eye powder, this as an all over, and then this is going to be the highlighter for today. Like I said, this is in the shade Prismatic Strobe Light, and I'm just gonna kind of dust it on the tops of my cheekbones, and as you can see, it really blends in beautifully, like beautifully. This is a Wayne Goss brush, in case you're wondering. I do not know if it's available still on Beautylish. So definitely excited for the products coming from Hourglass. I know they did release their holiday palette, and I know it is available at the Hourglass website. By the time I made the decision to actually pick up the product, I knew I wasn't going to be like the first video, so it was really irrelevant for me. But what I'm going to do is, as soon as it does drop on Sephora, I will order it through there. I just prefer to order through Sephora or Ulta for my points, etc, etc. So right now, this is my base. I'm not going to touch anything else. I may have to go ahead and use a little bit more spray to just kind of maybe get some more of that powder effect to kind of evaporate and to kind of get more powders to really seep in, but I'm not going to do that right now. Right now, it is time to really dive into the eyes. Actually, while we're out, let's do the lips really quickly. So I just have a lipstick from Maybelline. This is the Untainted Spice in 5950. I picked this up a while ago, and I'm just gonna put this on my lips. And as you can see, I did not put any lip liner on. I actually think this is a really pretty shade. I like it. It does have a little bit of a rosy undertone, which will work with my cheeks and my overall face today. So not bad at all. Like I said, this is Untainted Spice, and this is in their cream formula from Maybelline. And you know, you guys can get those super cheap. It's Maybelline. You can get it super cheap. Okay. So I actually have two new palettes and then two kind of fun eye products. I don't know what combination I'm gonna do, but I just figured I'd talk about them. So a little while ago, I showed you guys some stuff from Half Magic, and I never got around to showing these two, but I do have them. I've had them since that video. So I have two matte formula products from them, and one is in the shade We Are Aliens, which is the green tone, and then the other one is Sky Juice. So this is Sky Juice, and these are both in the matte formula, so these could both really work as like a matte eye base, and then I could like build something on top. So these are options. I don't really know where I'm gonna go. And then I also have two neutral toned eyeshadow palettes that I picked up lately. So I actually picked up the Give Quad in the shade Rich Girl. I originally wanted to pick this up when the brand launched, but I thought it was going to be too warm toned for me. But when I saw it in person and swatched it, it actually looks quite nice, and it looks a little bit more neutral than I thought. And then the other one is from Violet Voss. I was able to pick this up for a pretty significant discount. I think I got this 50% off during their Labor Day sale. And so this is what she looks like. Very pretty, kind of sunflower-ish color scheme. So I have quite a bit of things, quite a bit of arrangement of products that I can use, and I have absolutely no idea what I want to do. So I kind of want to try with this green as a base, and then build on top and around it with some of these browns, that's what I'm gonna do. So let me get some brushes together. I need to clean them off. I really need to go through and just mass clean all my brushes, but that's for another day. And then I will kind of build this look with you all. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I quickly just cleaned off a couple of brushes really quickly. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the About Face eyeshadow primer. I really like this primer, and it gives enough stickiness and tackiness, but it doesn't take very long for it to kind of get there, unlike what happens with the Natasha Denona primer right now. Apparently she reformulated, and so that's kind of when that situation became a thing. Okay, so there we go, primer down. What I'm going to take is a big fluffy brush from Eddie Funkhauser, and I'm going to go into the darker of the two matte yellows in the Sunflower palette from Violet Voss, and I'm really just going to apply this right into my crease. Okay, so I really got that all up in the crease, and I'm very happy about that. I will clean up my edges later. I just wanted to kind of put the product where I wanted. Then what I think I'm going to do is try and put this in that outer V area and in the crease, and attempt to blend it with that shade. So this is going to be a real challenge for this product. I don't know if it's possible. I don't think I've ever seen anybody try it when they've tested out this formula, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, and I'm just going to try and do it one eye at a time. This is a lot brighter than I remember. And I'm just going to try to blend her out. Okay, so definitely would not recommend getting these with the intention of doing this technique. I don't find that it blended very well, if at all. I think mainly what I did with the brush was just kind of dry out the product and slightly move it. And so that's not what I wanted, but we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna just do one eye with you all because this seems like it's gonna take a bit of time to get what I was kind of envisioning done. So now I'm just going to put dots along my lower lash line just to get some product down there. Okay, what I'm going to do is go ahead and take that same crease shade and same crease brush, and I'm going to try to just calm this whole situation down and maybe even make it look more blended. It may not work, but it's okay. I had a feeling this wasn't, so I have a step that I think will kind of make this look better. Now what I'm gonna do is take a, what is this, like a liner? This is a smudger brush from Sonia G, and I'm gonna go into the darkest shade in the Give Beauty palette. I'm not positive that this is actually the darkest shade I have in person right now. I think the one from Violet Voss is deeper, but I wanted to try this formula as well. So I'm just gonna add this into the mix just so that it looks a little bit better, because I think right now that green is just so harsh. Try to pack some product on, I guess, just so that it looks a little bit more put together. And I am trying to really focus this new color on the inner portion of the green. I still do want the green to kind of appear, but it just did not do what I wanted, and I don't really know. Oh goodness, this is coming out to be a little bit of a mess. Let me see, I'm gonna try and use another brush that has a little bit more blending capabilities. I think that looks better. Probably not, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna pretend that it does. Then we have some lid shades to think about, and I think for my lid shade I want to go with another brown. So I'm gonna jump right back into the Violet Voss palette. I'm gonna go into the second darkest brown shimmer, and then this one is going to be my inner corner. So I'm just gonna use my finger just because I prefer it. Feel free not to if you don't want to. Yeah, that was a good decision. This is a very good decision after what feels like countless bad ones. It's not super metallic, but it definitely gives a nice sheen to the skin, and I think it kind of helps to cover up the mess in this outer V. And then what I'm gonna do is just take my third finger, just a little bit of product, and put this in the inner corner. And as you can see, that is nice and brightening. Okay. I think that is more or less the look. I'm just gonna add liner mascara on as well. I'm not gonna do lashes because I'm literally leaving the house. So there's no point me putting lashes on for the video just to leave. I just don't have time for all of that. So let me finish up my face and then I'll be right back. All right, so definitely not my best look, but this is what she's looking like. Pretty much a lot of that green got kind of overcasted by the brown, and both browns honestly. And yeah, we're just gonna go with it. The skin, as you can see, it does look nice overall, but it doesn't feel as light as I'm used to. I can tell I have makeup on, and to be quite honest, it's already starting to feel a little, I don't want to say sticky, but I can just feel that I have makeup on, and that's not something that I am used to at this current juncture and how I've been applying my makeup. So yeah, and then of course the brows, they have completely dried down, and they're staying put. They don't look to have moved not an inch. So let me scoot back and then we'll talk about all the products. Alrighty, so let's just dive right into the products, and I'm gonna give it like a rapid review. As for this HD Skin foundation, and I'm hopeful to try this with like my normal powders and my normal products to see how well this does and how this stands up with all of the other foundations that I have in my collection. Concealer, I've always enjoyed the Sephora brand concealers that I've picked up. The other one that I went through like 2 or 3 before I kind of finally branched out to other concealers. And yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Even though it is full coverage, it does not look like an appalling amount of full coverage. To me, it kind of looks very in line with this medium coverage foundation. So I'm enjoying them both together, but also I think I will enjoy them both kind of being added into my rotation of products that I just enjoy and eventually will fully pan completely. So the one product in this whole video that I think we can all attest I didn't really enjoy is this one right here, which is the powder. Now, I did not realize when I picked this up that this is literally a powder foundation, so that's on me. But when I was watching the one person review it and kind of showcase it, she made it seem like it was really good as just like a setting powder type product. I saw her apply it in a very similar manner as me, and for me, that just made my whole face feel heavy. I can actually feel the makeup on my skin, and that's not something that I've been enjoying lately, or I think I've ever really enjoyed. I just did not understand how to use different products to get the kind of feel that I prefer. So for that, I already don't like this product. And then on top of it, it's not the right shade. It's too dark for me. And I do believe this is the only kind of darkish shade that isn't overly too dark for me that will actually work. So I'm not confident how I'm going to use this product. I may use it as a powder foundation, but only during the summer when I tend to warm up and deepen up a little bit. But for right now, in my current application methods, that is just definitely not going to be something that I get a lot of enjoyment out of, but I'm hopeful in the future I can kind of pick it out of my collection again and then find some use out of it. Then let's go ahead and talk about the setting spray that I just kind of referenced. This setting spray is from a brand I don't think a lot of people know is actually carried in Ulta, and it was showcased during one of the like months where they highlighted either, I believe, Asian based brands or Asian owned brands. I believe that's how this was highlighted to me, either that or it was woman owned. I don't distinctly remember which one. That said though, I think this is a decent spray. Like I said, there is a fragrance in there, so if you don't like that, definitely don't even pay attention to this, but it gives you quite a bit of product for such a cheap price, and that's why I kind of wanted to try it out. I also love that it is oil controlling. I do have combination skin, but I do enjoy kind of having a more natural base, and so I figured if with my natural base with this kind of allowing those products to really stay adhered to my face, my overall base will look better longer period of time. So that's why I picked it up. So far it's not bad, but you know, I've been having this foundation on for like maybe an hour, so I need more time to really see if that product's going to work. Cheek products. So the LYS cream blush, like everybody, I think this is a really fantastic product. Very pigmented, and it does look nicely blendable, so I am happy with this so far. I definitely want to go ahead and test it out a bit more, but so far I am enjoying it. Likewise with my Pat McGrath blush, I do wish that these blushes had labels on them. I find she very much doesn't do that until people complain enough, and for me, I really wish that this blush had some form of labeling on there, because I do intend to get at least one more, but it's okay. Either way, I like it so far. It is a little bit pinkier than I had hoped, but it might just be that cream blush that I had under, so I definitely want to do some more testing to see how it goes on my skin without that, and then maybe with some other types of cream blushes underneath. But so far I am enjoying it. It did apply beautifully, and it was blendable. As for the Hourglass products, I think so far these are really nice. I never kind of thought that Hourglass products were bad. It was just the fact that they weren't deep enough for somebody of my skin tone. And I used these two today. I think they look really nice on my skin. Really, this is the only one you can really see. This one I think did well to kind of blend everything together and maybe even kind of fix what that essence powder made me look like. This one I haven't tried, but I do intend to try that more as an under eye setting powder in the future. I just need time. But I'm very excited for the potential of this product, and then of course the potential of their new holiday palette that is coming up. Then for brows, I really like this so far. I assumed it was going to be awesome. A lot of people have been raving about it, this one and then the Patrick Ta, so I figured let me just try this one because it was already 50% off and I could get a chance of trying it honestly, and I like it. I like it so far. We'll see if I think it is better than my NYX, and honestly if I would recommend spending the amount of money it takes to spend that, especially depending on how long it lasts. I don't know yet, but I do like the product. Of course, I love my Maybelline lipstick. Maybelline lipsticks I think are just kind of classics, right? Especially if you get the cream formulation. I think I have tried their matte formulation before and haven't been the biggest fan, but this cream, really like it, and I think it really goes well with this makeup look overall, so I'm very happy about that. As for these cream bases, so granted I only used one, and also I only used it in maybe a slightly different manner than they were created to do, but I'm not loving them so far. Yes, I was able to get it kind of halfway blended into my crease, not really, and then on top of that, when I was putting the brown on top, I found that the cream was super sticky, so it was slightly difficult for me to actually get that brown blended on top of that as a base. So I'm not positive these are going to be the types of bases that I prefer. That said, these could definitely be, I think, maybe one shadow looks, but you're definitely going to have to like blend them out very quickly, or just have a very structured look so that that's kind of the expectation and you're not expecting to be able to blend, which is kind of, I think, more or less what Davy Dani, I believe that's the owner's name, created those to be more structured looks that people can do. As for the two eyeshadow palettes, I enjoy them so far. Granted, the Give, I literally only used one shadow, so not the best review or kind of impressions here, but I think it looks nice so far. I am happy with it, and I'm very excited to kind of try this and see if this could be like my palette that I pick up for like my everyday looks that I've been wanting for, because I have definitely been searching, and when I saw this in store, I was like, maybe I should just like scoop her up real quick. And then as for the Violet Voss palette, I'm very happy with this purchase. I already knew that I enjoyed Violet Voss's formula, but I could never never bring myself to pay full price for their stuff because I just can't. So I'm very, very excited that I was able to get this, I believe, half off during the Labor Day sale. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the items. I enjoyed a lot of them, and I think a lot of these could be diamonds in the rough, if not obvious diamonds. I just need a little bit more time with them, and then I will come back. As always, I try to do at least one roundup of eyeshadow palettes and others every month so that you guys can see what I'm feeling and what I'm testing out and how I'm enjoying or not enjoying those products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.